You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. As usual, we're live and coming to you from paceradio.net. Good evening, Tamara. How you doing?
I'm all right, Al. How are you doing today?
I'm not doing too bad. Just so you know, that worked really well.
Yeah, I saw that that's awesome. It just means it's less worry about whether we're starting and stopping on time.
Well, I also think that maybe it's going to clean up the recordings as well. Like when you do the downloads, just so everybody knows, this is the first time we've used some of the new. We're going to be using some of the new features here with StreamYard, and one of them was having the intro start automatically. As soon as I hit the live button and we were live, the intro kicked in all on its own and ran through it like it's supposed to. And so what I believe what happens is it'll probably remove that, that delay between when it goes live and the operator clicks on the video off to the side to run it.
There's only one thing I wish that StreamYard did. When we all hook onto Facebook, I don't get the comments when I'm on during the show. And then after I go back afterward and look at the show that's been shared on my page, the comments are there. So I have missed everybody commenting during the show.
Oh, sure. Oh, really? Eh? And that's directly onto your own page?
Yeah, when it's going onto the campus.
You should be getting it.
It's not coming in where I can see it on the StreamYard. So I don't know. I miss all kinds of comments. So
yeah. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know anything about it. So
yeah, because like I said, I go back afterwards. I always share it on my personal page, Cannabis and Coffee, and there's always lots of comments during the show, like "Hi, how you doing?" And
right.
I can't comment back to them, right? So it looks like I'm being rude, not even.
Yeah, because as long as it's on the StreamYard and the things, it should be coming to you. So.
Well, yeah, and like usually we can see comments that are like coming from YouTube, and it shows you on this end where it's come, but nothing, no comments at all.
Oh. Yeah, but they're there afterwards.
Yeah,
don't know. I'll have to look into that. See if we get any comments tonight. I know when did I get comments? I think Monday during the news. I think we got comments. Yes, we did. So I don't know. Maybe it's something else to do. Maybe it's part of the feature things that we haven't learned yet. But there is still a comment spot, just so you know.
Well, yeah. On here, I can see this.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe somebody will send us a message if we can do a test. I see we do have viewers, so yeah. Who knows?
I had lots of viewers just sort of on my show on Monday, but then we changed the topic, so then they all went away.
So is it getting a little cooler in your area? Like just so everybody knows, we got some medical cannabis news that we're going to discuss throughout the broadcast. Plus, I'm going to talk about a visit that I did last week after last week's broadcast. I went and did a on-location interview, so we'll be talking about that as well as I got a video to run. So we got a few things that we're going to be going over tonight. So,
well, the weather is warm during the day, and then gets down to about 5 degrees at night. But then it's going up to 25 to 28 degrees during the day. But today it's been kind of cool and windy, and I know we're too far like north to be dealing with anything that's going down south in Florida. But the wind here has been incredibly strong today.
Well, you guys usually get, don't you guys usually get those clippers, or you don't? That's
no, and it's only because
you're in the BC.
Not in Alberta, like Alberta. Like when I grew up in Lethbridge, we get 100-kilometer winds like on a daily. That was not a big, and through Alberta, but here it's the clear cut, the mining, whatever. But the wind is just whipping through this valley like crazy.
Right.
But it's pretty windy today.
Yeah, no, we're getting down to like 1 degree, 2 degrees at nighttime.
Yeah, well, I got flowers on my strawberry plants, for God's sakes, and then deer were back in here last night getting the last of my goddamn tomatoes.
Oh, were they?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
we go
yeah.
whenever we go to the field. We go over on the other side of the property, and there's an open field there. We go out there every night, and there's like 6 or 8 deer out there feeding off of the farmer's field there. It's more like it's cattle feed or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in there munching away.
You know, these are town deer that have never lived in the forest, and they'll eat garbage cans. They don't care. They're eating the snow in
Oh,
the mountains.
they
They're
go in the
eating.
garbage cans.
They will eat garbage. Like I said, they're not. They were eating. Let's put it this way: I get bread all the time, right, from work.
Hmm.
I left a bag of buns out on the veranda or on the red room too. They ate those too.
Oh,
Buns through the goddamn plastic bags.
oh, they ate the oh
Ate through the plastic bag
through the
to get.
plastic, and the
Yep,
plastic bag's still there with the zip tie
yep,
on it.
yep.
Well, at
And the
least they
buns.
know to leave the plastic behind. So
Well, yeah, they could have put it in the garbage though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They
like,
have
like
to
I,
do
I
that.
just never thought I'd see deer eating bread. But
No, no,
they'll eat anything.
it's food.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they're not eating the plastic because the plastic
Got one.
will mess things up.
There's
So
one running around with
yeah.
Christmas lights wrapped around his antlers.
So I see you've been posting about collecting up some products for to help people in your neck of the woods with cannabis.
I'm ready to
How's things going?
I'm ready to go.
Are
I'm
you?
going Saturday. Yep. Saturday we're ready to go. The bags are packed. Like I'm still missing water and juice boxes. But I don't care. That if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The important part are there. The cannabis, the edible, the roach clip. It's
Right,
right.
right. Yeah.
And we've got a bag of chips in there because I got chips from work, so I put a bag of chips in there. I got a big bag of apples. I'm going to put an apple in there. Yeah, and I'm going to go out with 10 bags and do some outreach and hand out my business card again with just my phone number, so you can text me. I don't want to deal with emails and all that other shit. It's just too much to deal with. And see if I can start spreading the word. And then next Saturday, I will go out and set up behind the homeless travel lodge in the
Mm.
parking lot and take out more stuff because I'll have more. It's not like I don't have more to make and more stuff here, but I'm also waiting on some packages
Some,
coming.
some
And
stuff.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
right.
yeah, I mean that's going to be ongoing too. And like I said, like I hate asking for money, but if I have to go buy this stuff to make this stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I mean, I don't know how many other people are, going to be able to keep sending on a regular basis either, right?
But
Like,
yeah,
it's
that's the thing too. You got to have regular donations. You can only do this as long as you've got
that's right. So I
silent
just,
partners that are helping out, right?
right? And you just got to keep hustling them. And I found, another one that I wasn't sure would be able to, and they're possibly going to be able to help me too. So it's just
Good.
going back to your roots, trying to find people that are actually still doing anything, which is really
Yeah,
hard,
I know,
right? Like, are wanting to put their, and the thing of it is, like, there's no labeling going on any of this stuff, right? Like, if
Mm.
somebody sends me something, your name's not attached to it,
No,
any way,
correct.
shape, or form. Even the medibles, like, I'm gonna have a menu saying, this week we've got, 30 milligram caramels. This is what's in the bag. We got a peanut butter sandwich, and every week, so that everybody knows what's in there. And I was thinking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but I'm thinking, what about peanut allergies? Am I gonna have to worry?
Yeah, yeah, peanut
Everything.
allergies are,
So,
yeah.
so again, like, and I was thinking that next weekend's turkey, right? It's Thanksgiving. So I was kind of hoping that maybe I could rustle up 10 meals to go with them. But I'm not going to stress about that because this is about substituting for the addiction and not feeding
Yeah.
them. There's lots of other places out there
Right,
that,
right. Yeah, but
right?
you're
Place,
offering something, a little bite to you,
right?
you know.
They'll munch you to go with it, kind of thing,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
This is not me trying to feed and clothe the homeless. I'm
No,
not.
no,
Because that's
no.
why a lady drops some socks off. She goes, "Do you need blankets and stuff too?" And I'm like, "No." I said the socks are just kind of like an add to do, like a mitts and hat. I'm not trying to feed the homeless. I'm not trying to clothe the homeless. I'm trying to help
Yeah,
them.
socks are something that are small when it
And mitts,
comes
right? Yeah,
to
socks, mitts, and
being
shoes,
able to and needed, like wet feet constantly.
right? Always. So, like I said,
Yeah,
that's something I can throw in a bag that's not gonna, take up too much room. But again, this
right.
is cannabis
You carry
substitution,
multiple of them.
right? Right, exactly. But again, like I said, this is cannabis substitution. This is about the cannabis in the bag,
Right.
right? This is about you getting the medicine that you need to help with
And these are whether it's through candies or
I'm gonna try and have
edibles.
I'm gonna try and have an edible and some raw flour every week. That's kind of my goal.
Some what?
Raw flour, like joints. Like
Oh, raw flour. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Canadian Lumber has kindly decided that they're going to sponsor me. Canadian Lumber,
nice.
too. They're going to send me a case of 1,760 packs of papers to start
Oh,
with.
wow.
Right? And
So
so I'm going to shout out to Canadian Lumber. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
But they support everybody. And I also now there's a CSP Ottawa Facebook page too that you can find on Facebook. So Ottawa's also got a CSP going.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. You bet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's using the same logos that we've got. So we're not affiliated with the RV, right? That's the foundation. That's completely separate. They're doing their own thing. They've always done their own thing. We aren't all like we're all using the same logos, but we're not like a big network. We will help each other.
Yeah, you're all doing the same thing, but you're not.
We're not affiliated with each other, right?
Correct.
Like we know each other. We will work together. We're all like hand in hand, doing the same thing, but it's not like a great big franchise. There's no money.
It's you guys you don't have meetings.
We're strictly donation. There's
Right.
no profit being made. All the meds are going out to these people for free. What anybody else does is their thing, not mine.
Right.
And nobody that I know that I'm affiliated with, like CSP Surrey or Langley or Halifax, are making any money. It's all zero money. Like not even taking. Like the donations go straight directly back into buying meds and buying things to go out to the people on the streets.
Nice.
Nobody's making a dime. Not
Good.
Good.
Good. I got a message. That came in with some information that I will share with our viewers as we go throughout the night.
Awesome. But yeah, this is like I said, when I'm talking to healthcare providers and RCMP, and they're saying they've been throwing everything at it but this.
Right. Yeah, I think you said something about even one of the officers just happened to come into the store. Like, just out of the blue, just as a regular customer. And
I just said, I'm going to do this. And he said, good, because the ODs are incredibly too many. The drugs are strong. And it's a daily. Like, I have a house across the alley that if the police or the rescue aren't there at least twice a day, I'm surprised.
Really, eh? Yeah. And if you can help, by giving them some cannabis.
Oh, I'm not going to go knock on the door over there. That's for sure. I don't want to associate with the woman that's running that place in any way, shape, or form, or be friendly with her at all. So this is just like, I mean, if I thought it would be helpful, it won't. For her, she's got her thing, and like I said, I don't want to be affiliated. If these people want to come and see me separate from that place, absolutely come out. I will happily give you whatever you need, but I'm not going to go knock on the door over there. It would just be a bad idea. I've been warned about staying very clear and being very not like do not be neighborly, because she's the kind of person that would be taking advantage of that neighborly kindness and then come and rob you.
That's not good. Yeah. That's not good. No.
Yeah.
So, talking about robbing, just so everybody knows, if you get burned for your plants, and I'm seeing posts online about people that have already got their plants have been stolen. Already.
Oh my God. What is wrong? What's wrong with people?
What people don't realize, I don't think, the people who are doing the theft, they could be up for charges. That is something that you're not allowed to steal anymore. Like as far as law wise, you can get charged with theft under $5,000. You steal a couple people's plants. People have been charged over the years ever since cannabis has been legalized. It's just not something you're seeing a lot of time. Like I remember one advocate, a patient, back before legalization, that his plants got stolen, and the people who ripped them off, they had an option at court to join the military, and they joined the military, and the case That was their thing. They didn't. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't get any time in jail. They didn't get any that
Why
fine.
would
As far as I know, they didn't get any fine.
why
But
would you
that
want
was
people like that joining our military? Like, why would you want
they
thieves
did. Join
joining our
cadets
military?
or whatever it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't like that idea at all, because then you got
No,
being
like
admitted
this
into
is
our military.
this is probably like 15 years. Well, actually, I was doing the reefer reporter because I reported on it on Rock 107 in Belleville, doing the reefer reporter, and so that was in like 2008, 2009.
Right?
There's 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I knew
Yeah.
that because we were told by Health Canada that if our plants ever got, because we had to have these big security. Remember the security page?
Yeah,
We
oh,
had
yeah, we had that security,
gates and locked doors and dogs and gates
dogs, and
and
deadbolt.
cameras and blah
Yeah, oh,
blah.
yeah, standard list.
Yeah. And meanwhile, nobody ever came to check your fucking whether
No,
you had it or not
no, but they have increased the inspections.
for patients. Really.
Yeah, excuse me, I got the hiccups now. Yeah, we've reported on the news, so
Oh,
they'll
that's unusual.
go away.
I didn't. I like I said. I never heard that before. Yeah, that they're
No,
actually.
yeah. There was just a report that we just did on the news.
Hmm,
I'll have to find it
yeah,
and
that's
send it
interesting.
to
Like I
you,
said, for all the years that
or maybe I'll bring it up next week
yeah,
on the
for all the
show.
years you've grown, how many times have they come to inspect you?
Me never.
Right?
I had low numbers. I know people with high numbers that never ever saw an inspection, including in the process. They also fought court challenges against them.
Well, I thought it's funny too that they've never like how they used to like call doctors and to check and
Yes.
see whether you actually had legitimate whatever to I'm on the air, honey, just so you know that yeah, they never bothered to check, and then all of a sudden if you had a 20-gram prescription, they were phoning your doctors like
Right.
anything over a certain amount, and then it got really bad where
Oh
they
yeah,
were
yeah. Over 10, and then it got really nasty at 20.
right, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
wondering why you needed that and phoning doctors and delaying your paperwork coming back. Why they took 10 weeks? Because apparently they had a checklist of all the things that they had to make sure that, were covered, even to the bottom fact that you had to have a signature on the bottom of every single page of your fucking licensing.
I put my name on every page,
Yep.
even when the pages that didn't ask for it. Yep.
No, but yeah, we made sure we said, and then we did our paperwork the one time here, and for a production site, and we
Hmm.
forgot to sign one little spot. They sent it back with
Yep.
our envelopes that we actually sent to Health Canada, like our like the FedEx page, saying that they have no record of us ever applying, and make sure you fill this
Oh,
back thing out and then send it back. So if they ever returned your paperwork to you, they never kept record that you had applied. So if you already had plants in, or if you ever had you'd already started and you couldn't,
yeah.
you actually had
Well,
the license in your hand.
I don't know. I filled out piles and piles of those MMAR forms.
Oh,
Like
me
it was
too.
a regular at the cafe.
100%.
Cafe would just call me up and say, "Hey, Al, we got somebody here who needs a hand to do their paperwork."
And like, and after I'd done like probably 100 of them, I'm like, this is repetitive addresses. Why can't people do this themselves? It's not that hard. But people were so worried that they were going to miss something that they wanted
Yeah.
to sit there. And basically, all it was signing your name and address over and over and over again and making sure you said yes, 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 and checking every. But there was 35 pages before. Now it's 11,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you'd only use like 22 of them.
right? And then
Yeah.
that back one that you have to have like the doctor initial for an LP, and that's the only thing that goes. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Like the
Yeah,
back,
that's the
right?
last page. It's still there on the
I
form.
know. I haven't
Yeah.
got my licensing anymore. I figured fuck it, but now I'm thinking I better go and get it again. But I don't. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, those numbers were. I think they were holding steady. Maybe they might have had a little bit of a slight increase. In the report we did last week on
Well,
them. So
I went through Namaste, whatever, Canada 420 last time because I can't grow here anyway.
yeah.
And I wanted my 20, like I had 15 grams before I wanted up it to 20, right? They refused because they were worried about the affordability. I said, don't worry about how I'm paying for it. Well, we're going to worry about where you're going to get it then because, legal market, can you afford that? That's not your concern, I said. How I'm making the money to pay, I'll be able to pay for 20 grams a day. None of your business. They refused to sign it because it was not affordable.
No. Jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when I asked
Yeah.
if I could have the
Yeah.
original,
I've heard some people have that have to deal with that question.
and then when I asked for the paperwork, original paperwork, so I could send it off to Health Canada to grow, they wanted $850 fucking for it. If they just signed it to an LP, because
Wow.
you had to pick your providers through them, right? So you had to pick like Tamara or Broken Coast or whoever, because it was.
Right.
But this is ACMPR, so yeah, and that provider then pays them for your licensing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Your license because they want you to sign up for the production sites.
You're gonna buy your cannabis off them, so they're gonna pay for your license.
Right. And if you don't buy from it, they have the right to remove your licensing.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I've just always grown my own, right?
And that's
Never
why
had to
I
worry.
want to get another
Never had to
license.
worry about that.
Because I don't want to have to buy from Broken Coast. At inflated prices, you go to the stores, even Broken Coast ounces are still $240 fucking in the stores.
Oh, really? Eh?
I don't buy them. I'm not buying an ounce for $240 from Broken Coast when I can buy one from Pure Farms or 1964 for $100 and it's better cannabis. But Broken Coast is still $143.99 plus tax in the store, which after you pay tax on that, it's almost $200 an ounce. No.
No.
So they still want $15 a gram all the way up, and it's rack. And on their website, if you go look, I guarantee it's probably the same fucking price, and it'll be the same pot too.
Wow,
It's not
that's nasty.
recreational; it's all the same.
Yeah. It's yeah. Well, talking about what people think about cannabis, I've got a little report here. And this does not surprise me whatsoever. And this report that came out recently, it says that most people don't trust the government for cannabis information, according to a federally funded study. I'm not surprised.
Where the fuck do these people come from?
They interviewed or they surveyed 1,161 adults, and they said that the government agencies were the least popular source of cannabis related information. Only 4.7% in the probability weighted results.
I wouldn't trust government for cannabis information either.
Well, a lot of us didn't, did we?
No, like to be honest, like when you say it that way, I don't trust the government for cannabis information either because it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
They never listen. They don't want to give it anything. They don't want to give it any benefit. They don't want to admit that the sky hasn't fallen. They still want to come up with some minuscule little, blip about something harmful. Well, you know what? I watched a little thing last night on our news. They were interviewing the city police chief of Vancouver. And guess what? Even after that, incident in Vancouver where the guy's hand got severed with that mental health, crime rates are down in everything in Vancouver, including domestic violence, including robberies, including everything. The only thing that they've seen spiking across Canada is car thefts in fucking Ontario. Everything else is
they're big here,
right? And he did say that the harm, like he's pro harm reduction, but the safe supply thing and the decriminalization didn't work here. The experiment failed, and it did, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that harm reduction and safe injection sites should be stopped, right? And we should have safe consumer, consumption sites for cannabis patients called lounges.
Where Well, the city of Toronto used to call them medical marijuana facilities,
right?
That's what they called them, because they did a report on the lounges back in 2012.
Well, I think we should be, pushing them for medical marijuana consumption sites because whatever you want to fucking call them, we need places for us to go so we're not hanging out on the street. There are people everywhere that cannot consume in their apartments because they live in
Mhm.
a strata building, or they live somewhere that they cannot smoke in their apartment. Where are these people supposed to go?
Or
You don't want
condos.
them on the
Yeah.
streets. You don't want them in the parks. You don't, but yet it's legal to, it's a legal consumable thing. Even alcoholics have safe consumption sites. They're called bars. So
Bars.
why are you leaving the cannabis people on the streets?
Yeah, yeah, they put us on the streets, and you know, there's even some places where you can't even consume on the streets.
Like Quebec,
Yeah, yeah, I think there's some place in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick.
you can't hear so much either. Like
They
you
have
can't
smoking zones.
in the smoking zones, but we can't in a park. But you can't smoke in a park either here. Like there's
No,
no,
I
you
can't
can't light
smoke
a
in a
cigarette
park
in a park
here either.
here either, right? So
Yeah.
you can't smoke GBs in
Now
the
this survey, it was done by NIDA, which is the National Institute on Drug Abuse, and they put this in the Journal of Cannabis Research, and they concludes that most people draw healthcare information about cannabis from friends and family or online,
yeah.
with very few consulting their healthcare provider or government agencies.
Because healthcare providers either make you feel like you're a criminal for even asking about it, or poo-poo you because it doesn't work. We know it
Or
doesn't.
as your doctor told you, why
Yeah,
don't you
why?
just go to the store?
Yeah, just go to the store and get it. Like, why am I going to get prescribed you what you already can get? Which I understand that to a point. Like I said, why would she prescribe me 15 when I can go to the store and get 30? I understand her logic on that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, if she prescribed me 30, I could grow that many plants. And she couldn't wrap her head around the 5 plants per gram.
Oh, oh, really?
And
Eh?
the dosing and how, me growing
Oh,
my
it
own
works.
would work. Where if I
Yeah.
go to the store,
And growing
it's
I know there was that question earlier, the comment earlier about, affordability, but growing your own cannabis, if you grow indoors, is not free.
it's not affordable, really. I had
It's
somebody make a comment
costly
about
because you've got to
power,
pay for all that hydro.
right? And when your power is $700 a month to run, 5
Mm.
metal halides, 1,000 watt per, that's pulling power. Whether and power's cheap here. Like I literally pay like $200 every 2 months for electricity in this
Oh,
fucking house,
really?
right?
I
Yeah,
wish I had your bill.
yeah. But my gas bill, on the other hand, is almost $500 a month to run the fucking furnace, right? For
Oh,
natural gas.
oh.
So I'm paying $460 a month for fucking gas, and I'm paying
Is it all
$200
just
every 2 months for electricity.
it just goes out the walls, eh?
I have a gas dryer too because I don't have enough power to run an electric dryer and a stove and all this other fucky shit when you
Oh,
got
so everything's gas, but still, that's awful expensive. Like I had a gas furnace, natural gas fireplace, and a natural gas
at one
stove.
time though in British Columbia natural gas was super cheap. That's why they put natural
Yeah,
gas in everything
yeah.
there. Even in Vancouver, a lot of the new condos and stuff back in the 90s when they were building them were heated specifically with natural gas fireplaces and natural gas because natural
Mm.
gas was cheap in British Columbia at one point. Now, I don't know
Yeah,
what.
last I paid was like 22 cents a cubic meter for it.
I'm only paying 14 cents, but I'm still paying fucking $460 a month
Wow.
for
Ooh,
payments. And like I said, I don't know. Yeah, it could be the fact that this is an old house and that it's just
yeah.
insulation. But I mean, it's summertime and my heat's turned off, and I'm not using any gas except for the dryer and to heat water for the shower.
Mm.
So yeah, but it's ridiculous. But again, like back to the growing, right? Like it's really hard to sustain that again too when the
Yeah.
excess, you don't have the dispensaries available because now everything's got to be through the legal. Before, we could take your overage to a dispensary and help other patients through that means as well.
Mm.
Now there's no benefit to it, not benefiting
Right.
anybody else either. Yeah. And I guess apparently, like even with the substitution, they want if you're giving it away, they expect a receipt. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like there was something in the Cannabis Act that says you have to have a receipt. I said the stores don't even give you a fucking receipt unless you ask for one. They're not handing you a receipt saying you need this receipt in case you get pulled
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now just back to the stories again. They say here that as cannabis accessibility and legality is increasing, there's a strong need for better better clinician education, public outreach strategies, and improved communication between patients and clinics about cannabis. And I gotta agree with that because it's always has to be updated and improved because it's
Well, for as
so
long
far
as
behind.
doctors have been aware of the medical end of this, because we've had medical licensing since 2000 in Canada. So the
Yeah, I
doctor
know.
has buried in the sand for 24 fucking years, to be fair, right? Because it's
Yeah.
been 24 years now that we've had medical cannabis in Canada. They were growing crap. They were sending us crap. They were poisoning us with their crap for years,
Mm.
right? On Manitoba.
Well,
What the
here's
fuck
a
was that?
before we go to break. Here's a quote from Paul Ormanetto from Normal. He says, "Historically, government-affiliated sources have either embellished or outright lied about cannabis and its effects. It's no wonder that the public doesn't consider them to be a credible source for cannabis-related information. And as far as healthcare providers, he says they have a responsibility to keep up with cannabis-related sciences and trends so they can engage with their patients. So just as they would stay informed and provide advice regarding any other number of behaviors that potentially affect their patient's health and well-being." So he's saying basically it should be treated the same way as any other drug that a doctor has to give
I
to
know
a
when I
patient.
went for my attention deficit, the psychiatrist was not happy with a 15 gram a day prescription for cannabis. He thought that was over excessive. And how how am I managing or maintaining a life smoking that much cannabis? And I'm like,
More to it than smoking, buddy, but yeah.
I said, first of all, I probably don't consume that much in a day because I probably can't smoke that
Mm,
much. That's, including the fact that if I wanted to make any, extracts or anything or eat it, that I would have the ability to do that. And he still thought that, but there's no understanding of what even 15 grams of cannabis looks like. I've never even seen this
yeah,
guy face to face over the phone to begin with. And you don't even know probably what 15 grams looks like, right? But they just
right.
seems like 15 grams, I'm thinking milligrams in their head like a pill, right? So 15
Yeah, there
milligrams,
must be.
say like, Percocet would be pretty excessive, I think. Maybe I don't even like, you know what I mean? Opioid. I don't know what they would think that would be like. Because if
Yeah,
like
well, I know when I talked to my family physician about it years ago, it was, the question comes up is like, how much is a gram? What's a gram? They don't know what a gram looks like. And it's not just doctors; there's other people. Just regular folks don't know what a gram looks like.
right,
And so I always just tell
how
them,
much is how many
just like a
joints do you
cigarette.
roll up? Oh my
Yeah.
god, you smoke 15 joints a day? People smoke 25 cigarettes a day, and that's okay, but you can't smoke 15 joints a day. It's not the same as 15 beer, right? Like,
No, no, no. I smoke 15 joints in a
again,
day.
they're trying to see it like alcohol when it's not. It's like it's medicinal. It's not the same, right? Even
Yeah.
recreational, it's not the same. You can consume 15 joints
Oh
and
yeah.
you're coherent, maybe sleeping. You might have
Still
ate,
function.
you can
Still
still,
do stuff.
but you can't. There's no
I
way.
have for 20 some odd years. So
I would be like passed out dead. There's no
all
way I
right,
could 15 there.
time for us to go to break. All right. When we return, we'll continue our discussion, our talk. I've got some more information on this survey. Plus, I want to get into my little tour that I had last week and did on location video with the glass blowing crew.
Interesting.
Watch for that. We'll be playing the video when we get back, shortly after we get back, and we'll go from there. I just got to find the commercial. Everything's moved around. Here we go. All right. See you in a minute.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, They offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here, paceradio.net. Well, Tamara, to finish up that last report, I got one thing that I want to just touch on here. And it says that, and just for people who are just joining us, this was a report that was on people don't trust the government. Most people don't trust the government on cannabis information. But they said that, where is it? Got to find that paragraph. Here we go. They said that surveys and quantitative studies demonstrate that many physicians and medical students desire further relevant training, especially during medical school. And the report goes on to say that about only 9% of medical students in 2016 offered, or medical schools, 9% of medical schools in 2016 offered medical cannabis specific criteria.
I think it's becoming more relevant because I don't know if you remember me telling this story before, but I'd gone into the hospital a couple of years ago because I was having issues with my leg. And the doctor next to me was talking to a patient, telling them that they should try edibles rather than for pain, right? And they were directing them to the store to go buy edibles from the store. And it was a young trained and resident doctor, right? So then he came to see me, or she came to see me. It was a female doctor, and I was like, "Did I just hear what you just said?" And she did. So I don't know what medical school she went to. I didn't get that far into it, but they either that or she's done some educating of her own, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had doctors that signed our licensing that had educated themselves about the benefits.
Right. Yeah. Like the first time I asked my specialist, he sat back in his chair and he rhymed off everything it would help me with, pain, sleep, eat, excuse me, so on and so forth. And then he says, but let's try conventional medicine first. So I did that, and then I asked him again, and he had no problem at that point.
Yeah. Well,
Because
that's
at least at that point, I knew when even though he denied me, I knew that he knew that there was benefits behind it. That he was educated to a point.
well, my
And,
doctor, Hannah, said, I don't believe it's helping your colitis, but if it's giving you some benefits of quality of life, that's all I need to hear. He didn't care about whether it helped me with
mm,
does it make you feel better? Is it giving you quality of life? And this is out in Alberta, right? Hannah,
mm,
Alberta. And he signed them and renewed. Never even
yeah,
questioned me. My doctor, when I lived in Hannah, never ever questioned me.
never, eh?
After in Tabor, I had to fly to Ontario. But because I had that licensing from Dr. Kammerman to begin with, taking that into another physician back in Alberta saying, look, I've already got this. I have a
Yeah,
doctor that believes me. I have a doctor that says it's helping me. That might have made the difference. I don't know. But he
yeah,
also had to, this doctor also had to have a kidney transplant because he had taken too many pain pills and had killed his kidney.
yeah, sure, yeah.
So he
Liver,
didn't
kidneys.
recommend anybody opioids.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was one thing that I always was able to tell the doctors that I haven't, have you prescribed me any opioids yet? Well, no. I said, well, see, it works, right? So
And I wish I could say that because I wish cannabis helped my RA flares. Unfortunately,
it doesn't help you.
hasn't touched it. And
Even as an edible, eh? Even as an edible?
no, no, not even as
No.
an and let's put it this way, even sometimes 4 milligrams of Dilaudid doesn't touch it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't even
Yeah,
take more than that because if I take more than that, I'm puking my guts out.
right.
So
That's not
this
good.
and I really like even 4. I'm puking. I can't take even 2 pills, and it
Yeah.
doesn't touch it sometimes. It's that bad a pain. It's so bad.
Alrighty. Switching topics, as I said before the break, we were going to talk about something I did last week, and that was an interview, on location interview. And what I did is I made a journey to Kingston, Ontario, and I visited the Apple workshop. You've seen me with this,
I have,
right?
and you love that thing so much.
Yeah, as it says on the box.
I would love one too.
It's a glass. It looks like an apple. It's got a stem on it. Old school hash and a lighter. That's all you need. And scan the barcode. Scan the barcode. The mine's been used. I have to clean it, or I would show it to you. But yeah, there you go. Little picture there on the side.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
use it and well use it because that's what you want
correct.
to do, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
getting some hash is like the best, the best of the best of the pond.
Yeah.
Really. Like,
So we went, or I went there, and did a bunch of recording of different videos, and did some with some talking, some education involved in it, and we did some just footage of there's no sound to it other than the natural sounds from the torches or so on and so forth. There's no voice to it whatsoever. So
he's a talented glass blower, obviously, because that's a
yes,
very fine like glass, like it's not like thick, it's like fine, like fragile. It looks fragile.
it looks fragile, doesn't it? Eh? Yeah. It's it was interesting to watch him. He actually made 2 of them while I was there. It's nonstop. The 2 of them going at it. That's Your Electric Dave on IG, as well as Master Glass
That's
on
true.
IG.
He's successful and he can't keep up to the orders that are coming. So
Yeah.
love to see people successful. That's awesome.
That it was nice to I spent, I don't know, probably 3 hours there
Oh, well,
out of their day, and got, like I mentioned, over 2 hours of video footage. So we did a lot of talking and things, and learning about the glass blowing and the kilns and why you need a kiln and what happens if you don't use a kiln, the different way, Master, he took basically a scrap piece of glass that was there, and he shaped it into a donut. It had round, it had a hole in it, and you could see right through it, and it was all red. And they gave me a thing not bigger than my thumb, where I moved this thing out of the way, and I could look at the flame of the torches, and because they would say fire, and then the torch sort of explodes, right, as if you add a bunch of oxygen to it, right? And so I could watch the glass itself. You can see it changing and the colors, and
yeah, because they were
the red, like
glasses, right?
Yeah, because the apple doesn't have any color to it. It's just clear, but the glass is red, and it's like it's molten. Really, is what it is.
It's dangerous to the eye. Like that's why they wear those glasses. Like welding, right? Like you can get a flash, and it can really be damaging to your cornea. So that's you don't want to be looking straight into that torch. That's for sure.
No. So I'll run the video here, okay, and we'll talk about it out on the other side. It's just about 2.5 minutes long, and you'll see. So we'll see on the other side. Right back.
This, guys, is a BT bottle with a little straw on the end of it. Okay. Back in the day, we used to have glass bottles, soda pop in glass bottles. Okay, soft drinks, and this was built for the old school hash. This is the hash that your uncles and your grandparents would get. And this is the stuff that we would all treasure whenever we could get it, because we thought it was the best stuff, because it's the constant. It was our form of concentrate.
Correct.
Right? When we were young, right?
Yes.
This is
to answer your question now.
Oh, here we go. Forward. Oh, now you're going to cut this out if it doesn't work, right?
You just cut it out now. These are the 3 tools I use to form and shape the happers.
So now once the prep work is done over on the lathe, it now has to come over to me to put the mouthpiece on and finish off the top part. So first up, I just need to clean up and close off the top that's left over.
First thing I'll do is I will heat up the corner and I'll push in the Maria, which is the circular lump that acts as a stopper. Right? Whereas I'm kind of like, I'm 49 years old, I don't have time to be an artist.
You know, but each one is individual, though. There's only one of each. So it does make it art.
Oh, stop it. Okay.
So there you go. Did you see the nail in the piece of wood there?
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah. You'll have to wait until the documentary is, I call it a mini documentary, is released to find out what the end result was. That you were mentioning before I played that about, it's glass and it's thin and all that, eh? And so we were talking about all that, and they said, well, hey, let's see what happens. So you'll have to watch.
That's why they need the kiln.
I could see it there at the beginning there. You could see the apple on the box, and then it goes to the video with the hash. He's putting the hash in it. You can see it how it's flowing. It just flows. He talks about that in our interview.
It's
About that.
the teardrop one that he also makes is awesome too, as well. What's that one called? The drop?
Yes. It is called the Dewdrop.
Teardrop, yeah.
The Dewdrop has just been here or just been announced to the stores. You can see I got a dirty line on it because I use it, right?
What's the point of having it if you don't use
Yeah.
it?
And you stick your hash on the end there.
Yeah.
You light your hash.
Yep.
Yeah, just straight old hash. Nothing but hash. And then you stick it in there.
Yep.
Now this one, the Dewdrop, it has water in it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, more of a bubbler, kind of get the water kind of cools off the smoke and it just kind of makes it smooth. Can you put an ice cube in there? I guess not. There's probably not an opening.
No, you can't get an ice cube in there. No, unless it's no. You have to be very slow.
We used to fill our bongs with ice instead of water.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I remember those days.
Right. Just curious if you put an ice cube in there too. Because that would be
it's a bubbler. It's just been announced for as far as available to go to the stores. Like the stores can start ordering. They're available wholesale, I guess you could call it.
Nice.
So as long as the stores start ordering them, they'll be in the stores in the coming weeks for sure.
I would imagine they're probably not hitting BC, so I'll have to order one online.
There is a website for it. I'll try to find that before the show's out.
Yeah,
and I'll bring it back up again.
Yeah, so people can actually try and get a hold of it. Cause
yeah.
I mean, all our local stores here like carry glass in them too. I just don't. It's not a priority, right? Like, I don't go to the store to look at glass. I don't have the money.
Either do I. And when I bought my apple, I wasn't going there to buy a apple.
I know.
I was going there to visit with Dave because usually I see him at events in Toronto. And being that he was only 15 minutes from me that day at Spirit Leaf, that I went down and said, hey, I think I'll buy one of those after talking to you about it so much, right?
Well, why not? And then you're supporting him too, right?
Correct.
Because you want to support your local artists, like, no matter what. That's what keeps them in business. Because let's be fair, legalization has not been easy for anybody who's in a legacy market. And if you were a glass blower before, all those bong stores were pretty much shut down too, or they had to add to something, because you can buy glass and papers and everything in the stores too.
Right. Yeah, you can. You can buy glass and papers, all that there for sure. Yeah, I've seen that.
So to have a set apart glass store like they were before, and a lot of like the place that I go, we call it Dubs here in Cranbrook, right?
Yeah.
They don't have licensing for cannabis, but they were the big bong store in town, right? Had t-shirts, all the stuff, like all the stuff. They didn't get a licensing for cannabis. They sell like the nicotine now and the vapes, like for the nicotine vapes, right?
Yeah.
But that's it, and still have the papers and the bongs, but that side is always empty. You can tell that the people that are coming there are just coming for vapes. They're not going to buy the glass.
No.
The one place that sponsored my cup for the one bong store here in town, it's gone. It was an adult store too combined.
And was it? I did talk to Master Glass about I don't know if I even got this in recording. I think it was just sort of when I first got there. About the glass industry of old. Like I look at, treating yourself, Marco. He had a glass magazine, Glass Culture, and he had the store, not just marbles. That had all kinds of top end glass that was all hand blown,
And these
really
are
artsy looking stuff.
right?
But it was also costly.
Oh yeah, everything was
Yeah,
just all
yeah,
of that stuff, like all that custom art was always super pricey, but worth it. Like I'm not saying it's not worth it
yeah.
by any stretch, but they're
And
all artists too, right? Like what are they doing now?
what he found, what Master found, was that there was like a small group of glass blowers, and then all of a sudden it exploded, and as if everybody was, why, whether it was because they enjoyed it or whether it was because they looked at it as, high price glass was good money to make. And that market didn't last.
No.
And it's as if now it's more of a smaller community now than what it was back in like 10 years ago. Because I was talking to him about the expo and how we had the flame off and the glass blowers from all the different countries that came to the event.
At Harvest Fest in Saskatoon that year, they had a great big glass blowing contest and set up. Even like the great glass blowing contest that
Yeah.
has up here on the island there out in
Right, Redbeards, yeah, Canadian,
he's not
Canadian glass blowing.
Yeah, it was. They still had it this last summer. He wasn't organizing, but they still had it out here.
Yeah,
I've never been to it. It's just a little bit too far away for me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was pretty successful.
Yeah, well, Dave had a couple stickers from that event on his equipment.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. People come from across Canada, so maybe. And I'm not sure, like whether I know Leash Glass is still working. I know Alicia's still blowing glass too. But like I said, you have to wonder, like, are the legal stores going to the legacy market for their glass too? Is there like, what are they purchasing? Are they buying cheap crap from China? Like,
well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where their glass is coming from. I know that the Apple, it comes from Kingston. It's hand blown. It's locally blown to me.
You saw it blown with your own two eyes.
And blowing right in front of my two eyes. Exactly. Watched them create too. Before we end on the Apple end of things and go to break, Dave gifted me this Apple.
Nice.
Okay. What does it look like?
It looks like a teapot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, teapot. It looks like a cup.
Yeah, like a coffee cup. Yeah.
Yeah, like a coffee cup. Yeah. This was I'm gonna basically call it the prototype of the Apple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it evolved, and then he like.
Yeah, well, it was because he calls them as overlords, but it's basically it's nugs.
No, did he blow other pieces before? Like, has he got other?
Oh yeah, he did skulls and stuff.
Okay.
Before.
I think I did go check out his Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know if as you saw there in the video clip. I'm 49 years old. I've got time to get artsy.
Right.
I asked him about coloring them, like even just is there green ones, red ones, whatever, like because you get apples of green and red, right?
It's a matter of probably cost. I know that colored glass is a lot more expensive than clear.
Yeah, so he just does them in so this original one.
That one have is that a water one too? Like
it would fit nicely in a lawn chair. Cup holders.
Looks just like actually one of them gold cups. Now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah, can hold on to it. Great. Yeah.
Nobody would know the difference. You could put colored water in it, and they think it was a drink.
That's an awful hot drink. It's just smoking out of his mouth.
It could be coffee.
Yeah, hot chocolate coffee. Yeah, for sure.
That's what it make it blue, and then they'll think, who knows what the hell it is, right? You guys drinking straight up, blue gin. What's that guy got in there?
Blue gin.
I know, right?
Alrighty.
Couldn't even imagine smelling it, but
Yeah. All right, off to a commercial break again, top of the hour. When we get back, we'll get into some of this medical stuff that I've got sitting here on the screen in front of me. I always like pass along some medical information because the more information you pass on, more educated people get, right?
Education,
Okay.
that's what we keep doing this for.
That's right. Exactly. Talk to you all in about 3.5 minutes. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from, the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have 2 lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Red E brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And you're watching the Pace Radio Show, and I got an update on this, where you can buy the Apple. Other than the fact you can buy them in the stores. If your local store doesn't carry the apple and you want an apple, then ask them to bring one in. And if you're just never know, maybe they will. I know that other places have.
We'll give my store the link because Ryan likes me. I go there a lot. The owner. Yeah. We'll get them in Cranbrook. We'll get them here.
What
I will commit myself to that.
what I've got here. Okay, you got Nugs Canada, but that's their
website.
Yeah, the overlord. I guess I would call them. That's what he calls them, overlord. But as far as getting it, Canara Swag Shop on Instagram.
Swag shop.
What's
On
that?
Instagram.
Canara Swag Shop. Can you see that?
Yep. Okay. I will send
Canara
that.
Swag Shop.
I will send that. I will take that snapshot to Sasha. I will show my store that I like so much here in town.
All
I only
right.
go to one store here in town because they're super good to me and I like them. But it's not like I can't go to another store if I wanted to. I know a couple people that work at the other couple stores too. I could pass it on to them. They come into my store.
Do they?
Managers of 2 other stores, yeah. Because there's Product Cannabis and Clarity, and then there's the Green Gear where I like to go. We'll see what we can do. Bring them in.
What I'll do is I will put in the comments.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. I should have probably went to Facebook and shared this on my page.
Yeah, CANNARA swag.
Trying to stay off my phone when I'm doing the podcast, not get distracted.
For an apple.
But I'm distracted by what I'm seeing here. The winds in Florida are 150 miles an hour.
Oh, really? Eh? How many?
150 miles per hour, and they've had multiple tornadoes.
Wow.
And multiple fatalities. And they got Anderson Cooper, like the skinniest guy in town, standing in a rainstorm. Like he's near blowing over. Wow. I had to, yeah, that's nuts. They all need some cannabis in Florida right now.
No, it's nasty down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, they'll all be puffing because Jesus Christ, like that's a nightmare down there.
Mm-hmm. There, I just posted it.
Right on.
On Instagram, contact Canara Swag Shop to get yourself a apple.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we'll play that video again as we close out the show. I'll play it again.
And share that across Canada. Let's get them across Canada.
Yeah. Well, as he says,
Shadow too. Like, I tried getting them in the stores here too. I don't know what the hell happened with that, but Shadow Eyes were something that everybody should have across Canada too, right?
Here's a report that came up in a medical news website. It says that cannabis pill may reduce agitation in people with Alzheimer's disease.
A pill. So are they talking like naloxone or?
Let's find out.
You just see what's popping up on the screen.
Oh, okay. They did research on 75 participants over a 3-week intervention. Researchers found dronabinol, so the synthetic version, help reduce agitation better than the placebo.
Well, yeah, of course it would. I can understand that whether it's synthetic or not, it would still help with agitation because it would be this, depending on what that's like consists of. Is it CBNs and CBDs? Like what's the levels of, and what are they using? Like,
yeah, this is dronabinol, so it's just a synthetic THC.
Of the pill is made of. Like, does it give a rundown of what that prescription is made of?
No, as far as what's in the pill, I'm not seeing that. Not yet. They said that all patients had dementia, and were between the ages of 60 and 95. 75 participants from 5 different clinics. 63 participants completed the whole study. So 12 of the participants dropped out. 3 severe adverse events occurred in the intervention group, none in the placebo. So 3 people had adverse effects. Throughout the time frame, there was no significant differences in adverse effects between the control group and placebo group. 3 severe adverse effects occurred in the intervention group. So they had different groups, obviously. 5 nanograms of dronabinol twice a day.
Again, I'm wondering if it's because it's synthetic. What's the level of in it? What were the adverse effects? What other medications were they taking along with it?
But it is, if the synthetic can do this, what's the real plant capable?
Well, that's what I mean. The real plant medicine may be better because you're using chemicals to make something, right? Like, so you're making a chemical makeup of something that's natural. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, they're making meat in a petri dish. So what are they doing with all of
I
that?
know, and they're making cheese in those things too these days. So there you go. It's dronabinol.
But that's interesting.
And, and a lot of studies are done with synthetic cannabis.
Have they not done some studies with actually cannabinoids in Alzheimer's patients, and they're finding that it's actually linked to the tartar removal in the arteries?
Correct. That's that white buildup mass or whatever.
Yeah, the plaque mass within the brainstem.
Yep.
And that but they were using cannabis. They weren't using synthetic, right?
Yeah.
So they've already proven that to a point with natural. So that makes sense. But again, I guess for people that don't want to use real cannabis, that want to use synthetic, I guess that's why they would have to do the study to see if the pill works. Because some people will take pills and not want to smoke it or vape it or eat it like a cookie or whatever, right? Because they've got some stigma about cannabis. And that's, I think, what it boils down to is people are more comfortable taking pills than they are
a cookie, a pill. It's what people are used to taking medicine as.
That's why they make caps. That's why you can get counter caps, because people are more comfortable stuffing it in their face and drinking it down like a fucking
Well, it's not, especially when it's non-smoking. It's non-smoking.
Right? Yeah, but it just kind of defeats the purpose of cannabis if you put it into a pill.
Well, I make pills. Actually, I'll be making pills over the next 2 days at some point. I make my own.
If that's how you want to consume it, I just.
I infuse coconut oil.
That's great. And then you put it, I totally get it, but. To me, because I smoke it so much, it just seems to me defeats the.
I smoke it all the time.
I can't take anything with the green, like I said, with anything with any chlorophyll. It kills me, even a pill.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I said, I've tried.
Well, I know that the pills, when they break in your gut, there's always a bit of air that's in a capsule, because you can't fill a capsule up all the way. So there's always a little bit of air, so you end up with a burp. And you can taste it some there.
But again, like I said, anything, and then a coconut oil. That's not. I can't do coconut oil either.
Can't do coconut oil,
because of the chronic, running.
Right.
I try and stay away from.
Yeah. I use coconut oil because of the butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay away from the butter.
Right, because it's dairy.
And actually, the last batches I've been making it with olive oil.
See, when I make butter, I shock it I make it into a ghee, so that so I can actually eat I can use that when I'm baking. But again, then I can't eat a lot of baking either, because it's got flour, eggs, all this stuff, right? So again, why can't do a lot of the baking?
Well,
Why hard candy? because it was something that I could do without green, without it having any flour, milk, and eggs. And but then I was, falling asleep, and I can't function if I'm sleeping. Right?
And yeah, hard candies I try to stay away from because I'm worried about hiccups, but the blockage issue.
Right, because there's a corn syrup in mine. It's sugar, water, and corn syrup, right? So the corn syrup. But again, my colitis is different. I've got lymphatic, which it's microscopically running through my small intestine and my colon, right? It's not all syrup, so I don't get pockets, and I can't have anything removed because my options would be a bag. We'll remove everything from your small intestine down. You can have a colostomy
bag. There's a straight pipe.
Right? So that would be my option. So I was thinking maybe I could make designer colostomy bags with fur and jewels and stuff, but I'm not.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, right. It's quite not right.
That could get messy.
I've been talking about designer colostomy bags since I was 18 years old, because that was basically when I was told that this was my option if I wanted to, never have anything ever again. We can just give you a colostomy bag and take your small intestine and all your colon right out. You'll never have to worry.
No, my doctor's not into surgeries, only because once you take it out, you can't put it back in.
Right. But
that's what he said to me, and I talked surgery with him and said that I wasn't interested in it. It was more, to me, it was his last resort, and he had no problem with that.
They had a hard enough time getting a blood test out of me. They weren't getting anywhere near me, right? But again, some of the options that this quack was telling me, like you've got 1 in 42,000. I don't have any treatment for you. Let's try 90 milligrams of codeine. See if let's take with Asacol and 90 milligrams of codeine a day to try and stop the fucking diarrhea, right? Let's see if we can plug her up. No, that didn't even help either. So I'm, strung out on fucking codeine all day, itching and scratching like a fucking tweaker, and trying to, quit my runny bum. This is what the doctors try for you, right? Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
They got to try the treatments, right?
Yeah.
Cannabis saved it. I wish it had. I wish I could just say, yep, I just plug it up with a suppository and I'm good to go, but that doesn't help either. It does give me a better quality.
Okay. Well, I got here. CBG and THCV are promising treatments for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. There's the Alzheimer's end of things. Probably, I don't know whether it goes into that, what we were talking about.
That's the thing I think that's bothersome about the pharmaceutical company getting their hands on cannabis.
Yeah.
And isolating everything to be, this is what you need for the, and I understand that was one of the things that medical want. They want the dosing. They want to know what works for what, but then they're going to make it into pills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They want to make it into pills. I understand that. So, like, they can make cannabinoids just out of yeast. Okay, so they can target certain cannabinoids that whatever they want to make and go from there. They say that
they just grow the plant.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't produce enough CBG.
Oh, I'm sure they could figure it out. They got all these places that are licensed. They're destroying cannabis out there. There's overages and they're destroying it. I'm sure that
they're not. Yeah, they don't say what this study. I'm not seeing it yet. Anyways, what they're saying, as far as what they're using, but they talk about THCV, CBDV, and CBG, and they say they're antitoxins, anti-inflammatory, and neuromodulator effects. Position them as good for treating neurodegenerative disorders. And this is
that forever.
Yeah, this is forever. According to researchers from the Center for Dementia Research. Yeah, I know we've known that, but it's nice to see that it's in print.
I know they gotta have their. I get that. Why do they not listen to patients? Why do they not listen to people that have been consuming cannabis for fucking years? Like, come on.
Yeah, I worked with a patient with Parkinson's disease, and I can tell you that there were family members that were really pleased with what they were seeing at that time. I was with using the cannabis. They, the fellow was able to shave, and they said that they hadn't seen him shave in a long time.
I've seen videos of
I had to
people.
do it for him.
Yeah, so bad. They take
Yeah.
3 puffs of a joint, and within 3.5 minutes, they're just like not shaking
Yeah.
anymore. A little, but not like they were. And I'm talking like shaking like you can't fake it, right? There's no faking that shake. So let's
Yeah,
be
yeah.
serious. And that was decades ago.
Yeah.
So
And
these
this,
doctors or the college of physicians or whoever's closing their eyes to the reality, right?
well, what we're seeing is we're seeing proof of what we've been telling everybody.
Yep.
No, they always say, well, there's no research. There's no research. All your stuff is anecdotal.
Just
Well,
come off,
now that research is coming out
right?
and
Is
proving
this
what we've been
website
saying.
the U.S. medical website?
What's
Because that's
that?
where the information is coming off of medical out of the U.S., right?
Yeah, this is out of a U.S. website, correct?
Because anytime you look to any information on any of the Canadian government websites or the previous task force that was supposed to, be put together for the Cannabis Act that is now no longer, and since 2019, it all refers back to that American cannabis page or medical page, everything. So the Canadians are just going, oh, well, just let them do it. What?
What?
What are they, like? We need to do our own research.
Oh yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I just don't. I don't see that. Like, it got to a point where the government wasn't doing it. They spent a little bit of money on doing some cannabis research, but it really came down to private companies having to do it. And people thought that the research would increase with licensed producers.
It hasn't.
Well, they just have money. They got to have money to do the research, right?
Right. And that's the thing. They're not making the money they figured they were going to make because they're not.
And a lot of the research is being used to research new products.
Yeah, it is. Right. And to keep, pesticides and all the stuff that they can use, good, because they have to check on that too. Right. But I don't know if, I keep hearing that they're not making as much money as we think they are.
Oh, well, we know that because a lot of the there's businesses going under,
right?
LPs as well as retail stores, right?
Right. So, I mean, we kind of figured that would be the way it would be anyway, because the market was oversaturated.
When it comes to I think the craft end of things, as far as the LPs, have had better success than the big licensed producers.
I think so too. I think they got too big too fast. I don't think they knew what they were in for without the size of facility.
Yeah.
That's a lot of plants.
Oh, yeah.
Place, and you got one master grower doing you need an army. And I don't think they were able to find qualified people to actually do it, because they wouldn't let anybody in from the legacy market.
Well,
they people that had no experience, right?
Oh, yeah. And there was a story that we covered on Tuesday on 3 High Guys that AI is getting involved in the growing of cannabis.
Oh, is it going to grow hands and be able to trim the plants too?
I guess.
Well, I guess
as we discussed it during the show, it was sort of like, well, aren't we already doing automatic watering and automatic venting and automatic this and that with our existing timers and setups that are available? But yeah, so
these producers,
maybe if the AI was more along the line of smart technology, whereas it was more, but we still have humidity and fans that can come on and off with humidity controllers and heat controllers. So
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But again, they claim that they're going to employ 200 people, but at the end of the day, because everything is automated, they employ 20.
Oh yeah. Automation will
computer. Okay, I'm going to sit here and we're just everything from a computer, and that.
Well, I went into Home Depot recently, and there wasn't one till that was open, other than the commercial till. and the self checkouts.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the regular tills were closed, other than the commercial till, and the self checkout section. I had like two things. I didn't want to go. I don't go through the self checkouts, and it was a bit of a pain going out the commercial door. I'll tell you, but I got out. It was just because of the lineup.
Yeah,
people. It wasn't just all commercial people that were down there. So.
well, I get it because yeah, they want to see a person.
Yeah.
I can imagine people walking into that store that I work at, helping themselves, serving themselves, and then checking themselves out. Like, what? Do you not have a person there to watch? Like, is there not somebody
Yeah.
like?
Well, there are stores that are switching because they're losing money on them, but that's a different story. That's not got nothing to do with cannabis because they're not going to have self checkout cannabis stores. I can tell you that.
I would hope not, but you never know. Vending machines. They got vending machines in downtown Vancouver for it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. Well, I know I haven't seen any around here, anyways.
They had the vending machines out before legalization too.
I was gonna say. Well, I know they had them in a dispensary back in the day. I'm trying to think whether it was Bob's dispensary that had them.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember them having them downtown Vancouver, and the controversy about kids being able to get into them. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I think they took them out. I don't know if they still even have them, to be honest.
I don't know either. So, but it's sort of like right now. It's like back in the 20s. You used to go in the liquor store and write what you want on a piece of paper. At least now we don't have to write it on a piece of paper. You wrote it on a piece of paper. You gave it to the worker, and they went to the back to get it. But now we don't write it on a piece of paper. But it's basically the same idea. Like our beer stores here, a lot of our beer stores, we had to walk in and go to the counter and ask for like 2-4 Canadian or 12 export or whatever, and then they brought it out the rollers out beside you, come down the conveyor belt. Yeah. Oh yeah. You never seen those? No. Oh yeah. That's basically what I was.
Liquor store in British Columbia, and it's fucking liquor from fucking the floor to the ceiling. And I grew up in Alberta. You could buy booze till 10 to 3 in the morning, right off the fucking off sales out of the bar.
Yeah, well, we have it now in our convenience stores. It's just
I seen that. Buck of beer there, fucking.
Well, buck of beer's gone. It's long gone, but yeah. All righty.
Are they going to put in the stores then too? Can every convenience store have a cannabis retail portion of it then? Are they going to allow the cannabis, retail stores to sell cannabis joints from the counter?
No.
If you're going to let liquor in, then you got to it's the same. Well, can't you?
Well, I know. Yeah, we have convenience stores here that sell beer and wine. So
and they should be
I
able
don't
to
drink either. So
do they have? I guess it's the same. You can't sell beer and cannabis out of the same store here either. So
no. It's a no. You can't serve them at the same spot. So. All righty. Well, what do you think?
That's the most ridiculous part of it. Anyway.
What's that noise? Must be the dog. What's that? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is the dog. I figured out what the noise was.
Well, I'm surprised that mine wasn't whining the whole time too, but I don't know.
Oh, here she is. Come over and say, "You're looking at me, Dad."
Right?
Yeah, she's waiting for her walk. We go for our walk after the show. So,
right.
So what do you say? I guess it's that time anyway. So looking at the clock, it's 9:29.
It is. So
it is.
I'm fine, right?
All righty. Well, as we sign off, I'm gonna run the Apple promo again, and then the closing will just run right after that, and we'll finish off the test for the night. Because I didn't get into this. See, we're smaller, and we can get even smaller. We go round now.
And that's great. It just gives us a little more, And if you got 4 people, you can just, move the circles around.
You can move the circles around, just like the squares. Yeah, you know,
Very good
rounded corners instead of square corners.
It's
The fun
always nice
things
to
that they,
know.
you know. Oh, just so you know, those new toys they cost more money too. You know. Yeah. All
First, they
righty.
do everything costs more money.
That's right. That's right. Okay, here we go. Other than that, we'll be back next week. Who knows? We'll have a guest. Maybe we'll just do some more talking. Other than that, you can find us on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Well, we don't broadcast Twitter anymore because they want money, and we're not sending them any money, so we don't broadcast there.
Right? Like, richest man in the world wants money from you.
How much money? Well, it costs them $45 billion, right?
Not my problem.
They'll pay for it somehow. So, but you can always find us online at paceradio.net, and you can find our past shows there as well as on YouTube. So, thanks go to our sponsors, Legacy420.com, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, plus at ease.ca. Oh, and a message to Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. I gotta come in and see you. I got my orders, and so I gotta go pick it up before I forget. And thank you for everybody for tuning in to the program. We'll see you all next week. And here we go. Here's the Hackle. See you later. Bye-bye.
Night.
This, guys, is a BT bottle with a little straw on the end of it, okay? Back in the day, we used to have glass bottles, soda pop in glass bottles, okay? Soft drinks. And this was built for the old school hash. This is the hash that your uncles and your grandparents would get. And this is the stuff that we would all treasure whenever we could get it because we thought it was the best stuff because it's the constant. It was our form of concentrate.
Correct.
Right? When we were young, right?
Yes.
This is
To answer your question now.
Oh, here we go.
Forward. Now you're going to cut this out if it doesn't work, right?
You just cut it out now. These are the 3 tools I use to form and shape the hackles.
So now once the prep work is done over on the lathe, it now has to come over to me to put the mouthpiece on and finish off the top part. So first up, I just need to clean up and close off the top that's left over.
First thing I'll do is I will heat up the corner and I'll push in the Maria, which is the circular lump that acts as a stopper. Right? Whereas I'm kind of like, I'm 49 years old, and I don't have time to be an artist.
You know, but each one is individual, though. There's only one of each. So it does make it art.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.